my photograph. You cut my soul in half. What do you want from me? I'm temporary. Why can't I make you see? I have it.
When you're in the woods and you hear some whining, chances are it's Bigfoot Brian. Bigfoot Brian.
My name is Jim and I traveled back in time. I traveled 13 days into the past to warn myself about something bad. Ooh yeah, but goddamn it, I forgot what I was supposed to warn myself about. Oh, why did I travel through space and time? Gotta try to remember why I traveled through space and time.
Get out of my intro.
Who's that shuffling down the street? Exercising and walks out to the beat with a healthy heaping handful of smoke. Don't stop, it's the groovy move-ons. We weren't fooling, they're grooving and moving. Don't stop, it's the groovy move-ons. They're gonna make you really feel great. They're obligated to ensure you feel great. So groovy move-on, cause we'll all anyway.
Nerds roll Boston baked beans, chicken tikka masala, cheddar cheese and toast crunch, Tinty Warren's beef strips and cheese grits.
Inner Falcons. I could take a walk if I want to. Inner Falcons. But the thing is that I really don't, seriously don't want to. Deep inside we eat until we feel our hearts divide. But I just wanna eat everything inside. Just everything inside.
Good morning, desktop. Where shall we begin? A blessed mess of yesterday's 11th hour spin. Thank God that shit show's finally wrapped and I've got room to breathe and work on something special just for me. Now on to bigger and better thoughts. Good morning, Slackbot. What will you portend? Hey, more brilliant feedback from my client's cousin's friend. This file is much too large to download. Kindly send again. Well, friend, you ask for 4K, you get 4K. Okay? Guess it's time to bring the big gun in. Good morning, Photoshop. Let's make this a breeze. File and export as is how we scale and save with ease. Width and height and file type, even multiplicity. Save it down just right. Pack it up nice and tight. And wish it a pleasant flight from me. I swear today I won't come apart at the seams. Won't waste my time making Paula Dean dank memes. Won't be distracted, derailed, or frazzled out from the only thing that I give a damn about. My ironic trading card indie game Kickstarter dream. My dream. Oh no, 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 no. Hello there, Photoshop. One last desperate plea. Don't make me save every layer, do it automatically. Generate image assets, check. Name the layers just as you please. With file extensions for your favorite file type and parameters for things like quality and the size. Even multiple assets from a single layer just like these. And in a snap, it's back to just my project and me. Ah, fudge. She was working at the diner on a Sunday. I was looking for a little bit of getaway. She was wearing dirty boots and tight jeans. We were swimming in the middle of a fishing stream.
Good morning, Imagivators. Welcome in. It's Monday morning. How are you? How was your weekend? Did you get some rest? Did you get some play? Did you go out and have a good time? Did you stay in and have a good time? I hope you reset it in the way that you needed to this past weekend, because we've got a big week ahead of us. We've got all kinds of Imagivating ahead of us. It's a very exciting week. We're heading into the end of the year. There's all kinds of stuff happening. Matthias, you stayed in. Okay, good to know that. Folks, just check in right there in the stream. Let me know how your weekend went. I want to know. I want to know if you did something terrible. Did you have a terrible idea and act on it? That's what I'm really interested in. Why? Why am I interested in that? Because that's what Imagivate is all about. I built from the ground up a network called the Imagivate Network, purely intended to accelerate terrible ideas and their adoption into the real world. That's why you're here. And if you're new to this show, it's called Imagivate Live. It's something that we do as part of this network. And we do it every weekday, with some exceptions, but rare. And we get together, and we've got a group of people who are devoted to coming up with terrible ideas, because terrible ideas are what get our brains, get that flywheel going to get to better ideas, less terrible ideas, more not terrible ideas, gooder than less terrible ideas. And we do it by just getting together like this. We just rev up our engines. We get our brains juiced. We sit down. We come up with some crazy ideas, and then then we're done. That's it. And 9 o'clock hits, and we all go back to the real world. And then we do it again the next day. Jaco played Pokemon Sword and Shield all Saturday. Okay, I hope you're enjoying that. Yeah, you know what? I couldn't quite get myself grooving into the new one, but hey, to each their own, right? I mean, some of us are still living in the Pokemon past. You're not going to be able to rekindle that old magic. Magical Trevor 2 drove a plow truck for the first time at work and survived another 8-hour power outage. That doesn't sound very restful or resetful. Well, I'm glad you're here with us, Magical Trevor 2. I love how your brain works here. Maybe not the same as driving a plow truck, but good to have you. Good to have you here. Good to have your brain revved up. And glad you're safe. Glad we're all here together on Imagivate. If you're new to the stream, don't fear. Just hang, watch. If you can lurk, that's totally fine. But if you want to get in and just give it a try, you'll see that as we start Imagivating, it's really easy. No idea is too terrible. Throw it out into the stream. We'll get it into the mix. It's going to be a ton of fun. And what we do, almost without fail, every day, is we jump right into some Imagivating with the Speed Swirl. So let's go over to the Speed Swirl together. Well, look at this iconic image. Thought worst, spent the weekend trying to make your hair look more like Troy's, but ended up making your teeth look more like Troy's. Oh, it's great. It's a double-handed compliment / insult, and I'll take those. And as you know, we had some real drama last week with tooth extractions, unexpected tooth extractions. I'm glad to be with you too. Boy, we've all just had a kind of a rough go. Well, let's get it revved up right here in the Speed Swirl. Why do I have the iconic James Bond movie icon here? Well, an iconic icon. Imagine that. That is what Albert R. Broccoli created, an iconic icon. Well, I just discovered that YouTube is going to be streaming all of the James Bond movies for free, and I thought that this was an interesting thing. I thought it'd just be fun. Speed Swirls, sometimes we get a little too heavy duty with the Speed Swirls. These got to be fast, got to be quick. So let's come up with we're going to come up with terrible ideas, terrible names for Bond characters in honor of the James Bond movies suddenly becoming available on YouTube. Terrible names for Bond characters. Folks, just let it go. And I want terrible names. You know where we're heading with these, okay? This is an NC-17 stream today, all right? Let's just let it out. Terrible names for Bond characters, and go. Let's see. Just catching up here. Double O Kevin. Yeah. Double O Kevin, what is it, MI1, MI6? What are they called? Double O Kevin never really took off in the bureau there. Tanya Butts, support sidecar. Good morning. One of Bond's more intriguing lovers, Tanya Butts. That's a good one. 035. Bond and discount. All right. That's good. And yes, Matthias, I'm glad that you stayed in. I'm glad that you stayed in and stayed away from those children. Weirdo. Maskless Marvin. Yes, he's known for never wearing a mask. Maskless Marvin. Perpetrating things and being clearly identified for them. Maskless Marvin. Joy Cummins. Joy Cummins. These are terrible character names. Teef. Teef. Bond McBonster. Yep. They really, really started running out of names as they got later in the series. And I think there's a new Bond movie coming to Hulu or something, right? Premiering on Hulu maybe this month. Is that out? Did that movie ever come out? What do you do with movies now? Grill. Jaws, right? Was that the character's name? I love that. These are just bad like cousins of Jaws. Horatio Caine. It's good. Sounds like that could be one of those baddies in a Bond movie. P. Bond's urologist. Yeah, you got to wonder where the rest of those the alphabet initial characters are working in service to the crown, right? Bond's urologist. That's great. Sandwich platter. They're just basically looking around the craft services table as they're trying to figure out how to write in the next character. I don't know. Granola bar? Slimy Glad Hand. Nice one, Magical Trevor 2. Slimy Glad Hand. Regular job. Yeah. You know, when Odd Job, he bought it at some point, didn't he? Regular job. That's a good one, Sport Sidecar. Gig worker. Yeah, that's a good one. Shows up with a lukewarm bag of McDonald's and then tries to kill Bond with a McRib. Deirdre, dry rub. Deirdre, dry rub. Yes, also an excursion on a beach that did not go over well for Bond. Two fingers. That's a great one, Jaco. Two fingers. That's a terrible Bond character. All right. You took Deirdre to your senior prom. Dry rub indeed. Okay, there we are. It got put on the line, and then Shepherd Josh ran up and body slammed it over the line. Nice work. Any more, folks? I know that you're probably sitting there like stewing. Did you go to like a Bond character name generator? Did you try that? Green Thumb. That's good. Yeah, definitely. In the 2020s, we need to be very conscious. Green Thumb is one of the big characters in the upcoming films. Anybody else? That's really good, guys. If you think of any more, keep them coming through. I'm just going back. Raker. That's terrible. Oh, Ames on. No time for capital letters. He's moving too quickly. My name is On. Ames on. All right. Good job, everybody. Nice work. Oh, I love when you crack me up. And you do so crack me up. You crack me up square. Right in the jaw. Octagonal orifice. Dave on base 32. Never stop, never stopping. All right. Folks, we have had so much fun together, and it hasn't stopped. Speaking of never stopping, it just keeps going. Last week we ended on a big note and talk about cracking me up. Last week's almost most terrible idea came as an afterthought. A few of you guys kind of brought some of your celebrity snack partnerships back in. Just Thoughtworst had woken up with. Oh shoot! Thoughtworst, you had Robert Downey Jr. mints, which was really great. The one that's got me on the way out the door was Dr. Draper, a partnership between Dr. Dre and Dr. Pepper. Dr. Javasaurus came back around for that one. That was really really great. So that was almost the most terrible idea. The best one though, I mean, this is so solid. We were talking about the top 2020, the wrap up. Top 10 misconstrued facial expressions due to masks. That does also crack me up, but it's a terrible idea. I think in a terrible year of terrible celebrations of a terrible year, this was the one that really made it to the top. So very nice job, everybody, and thank you for coming so fresh and so clean into this stream every morning. It's great to have you. It's great to have you here. All right. Well, what are we doing this week? You know, tomorrow I'm assuming Thought Worst is going to be Poonraker. That I still just see it right there on my screen. That's really great. Are you going to make it, Thought Worst? Are you going to make it in tomorrow for Whose Tagline Is in Any Wednesday on Tuesday? You guys know we got a little shaken up last week with the oral surgeon. Unexpected interlude that happened. Hopefully we'll have Thought Worst. If we do, if we don't, we're going to have taglines tomorrow. You know how that goes. And then I thought we did this last week, I think. Did we do this last week? Yep, Thought Worst, good. Can't wait to see you. I think this was just last week. We took Wednesday morning to think about, like, well, no, wait a minute. Maybe that was 2 weeks ago. Was that 2 weeks ago? I'm losing touch now. We started thinking about what's next for the Imagivation experience. What are we going to do with the Imagivate network? I've been reaching out to you guys. I've been inviting you in. Do you have ideas for the network? Do you have a show idea? Bond villain or oral surgeon. Let me tell you, I'm lucky that I did not have a villainous oral surgeon. I got a really good dude. Took good care of me. What are we going to do with this? What are we going to do with this network? We're coming up on a couple of months, maybe coming up on 3 months, I guess, when we hit the end of the year. And I had always just thought, like, I'm at least going to do it to the end of the year, see how this goes. We're having such a great time. I love this stream. I think it's great. We've had very few interruptions because I've been able to manage it with my work schedule. But what's next? What do we want? So I think Wednesday morning we'll spend a little time coming up with the Imagivate. What's next? What's next? Also, my apologies. I haven't had a special guest on for a little while, and I love, you know how I love to have people in. So I'm going to ask that you. I'm going to put my email address into the stream here. Send me an email if you're interested in being a special guest, because I've definitely got people queued up, and we just haven't been able to arrange schedules. And I've actually talked to some of you guys, and we've just kind of flirted with the idea. Who's next? Let's swing somebody in. I am a little afraid to do Imagivate live in Zwift, but I'm not saying no, Matthias. I'm not saying no. But let's talk about it. Let's get something on there. Anyway, I'd like to slot somebody in, you know what I'm talking about, on Thursday morning. If that's you, send me a note and let's get it together. All right. On to Imagivating together. The reason you came to this free stream. Free is relative term. Here's a question. What's the deal with driverless cars? Seriously, what? So you know my desire to talk about AI, to forewarn the humans of Earth against this nefarious and imminent future that we're crashing towards. And so I like to talk about it. I like us to Imagivate about it. I like to come up with terrible ideas, in some cases to thwart it. And I thought maybe that is what we would kind of look at together today. Let's take a look over here really quick. We are at the precipice of a true driverless car reality. Like, it's happening. We've got multiple corporations that are investing heavily in this. It's happening. But the conundrum that we always come up against is, like, what happens? I mean, where are the ethics in AI when it comes to what happens in split-second decision-making? Magical Trevor 2, I bet you'd love to have a self-driving plow truck. Were you plowing, like, real deal heavy-duty snow wherever you are? That's crazy. We need to explore further what is happening with these AI drivers, these basically it's an algorithm running in you've got the LiDAR stuff set up. Let's take a look. This is a See what they're trying to do? They're trying to stir you emotionally into believing that this is the right thing to do. So you got these LiDAR detectors all over the car. You've got whatever that thing that was, that spinning thing on the roof. That's nothing short of completely terrifying. But the question is, when you are put in a situation where the driverless car is encountering a conundrum, right? And this is happening in split-second timing. It has a passenger, a human passenger that it needs to account for. It's responsible for the safety of this passenger. But there's an incident that's happening on the road, and something comes out in front of the car, and it needs to swerve. But in that moment, the LiDAR detects that there is a person, maybe a sweet old woman that's actually accidentally started crossing the road. I don't know. Maybe her golden Buckeye card flew out of her hand or something. She's walking out into the road. This car needs to decide: am I going to swerve from this catastrophic accident that's going to destroy my passenger, or do I swerve and destroy that person whose life is more valuable? Where is what's the data behind all of this? The problems are they stack up very quickly, right? For how this AI. Now, you might say, well, yeah, but people get killed all the time on the road, right? But who decides? Usually it's people, right? I'd rather have a person decide whether I'm going to die versus a machine. Thank you very much. But in the meantime, I thought, they're building this city right here. Sissy and Bud, you guys might know about this in East Liberty. Sounds like your part of town. They're building this test city where these inhuman monsters, these Waymo vehicles, are just driving around pell-mell, just deciding what they're going to crash into and what they're not going to crash into. And so I thought we would take these last 11 minutes and come up with terrible ideas for test track obstacles or dilemmas for these Waymo cars. So what are some things that we could do to see just how smart this intelligence really is on a test track, given a test city? What could you do? You've got an entire little small simulated town that you could build. You could put people out there. You could put other vehicles out there. You could put other objects. You could put anything out there. And we're trying to figure out, how do you make these Waymo vehicles, how do you satiate their or suppress their thirst for murder in these tests? So Shepherd Josh, what is up with you guys in my hair and my teeth? Run over Troy's hairstylist or his oral surgeon. All right, so put put Dr. Don E. Mettens or Shatrice out on the street. Okay? Those are people I care about, Shepherd Josh. Sinkholes. Ooh, yeah. Put some really good sinkholes that go down into the Chud underground. Chud sinkholes. You guys know what Chud is, right? I got some Gen Xers. Whoop, whoop. Runaway stroller. Sissy and Bud. Runaway stroller. Just like in Ghostbusters 2. Second greatest comedy film of all time. I will fight you. I will fight you if you disagree. Runaway strollers. Yeah, then we'll get a really good sense of just how well do these Waymo cars understand humanity. Solar flares. Yeah. Solar flares. And maybe like EMPs as a result. Just oh my gosh, if you shut these things down at the brain with an EMP, that'd be really interesting. What happens? What's the backup mechanism there? Yeti, yep, Yeti, or Kraken. Yep, you could have Patty running across the road there. Yeti or Kraken. Yeti or Kraken. I guess we could settle for one or the other, right? Yeti or Kraken. Gee Whizmo. Yeah, just like Walt Disney World. All right. Have them choose between a baby tied to a tree. Have them choose between a baby tied to a tree and one baby tied to 3 trees. All right. So it's a baby tree tying dilemma. How many trees do you need to tie the baby to before the Waymo knows to swerve? Baby tree tying. Ting. Tree ting. Oh, I had some really delicious tree ting last time I was in Chinatown. But you got to go to the right place because sometimes it's just it's not imported. It's just it's a domestic ting. Not as good. Let's see. Some autonomous cars start racing each other randomly. Yeah, so they're like kind of drifting for pinks. But it's all in their programming, right? Like one car knows that it's just got maybe it's like a testosterone injector or something. Drifting for pinks. I like that. That would be, you know what? You could probably make an 8 or 9 movie franchise out of that. Just a guess. Can the Waymo tell which baby is dead? That's a good question. Escape the GI track of the cave from Empire Strikes Back, a la Millennium Falcon. Okay, so these guys, we basically discover that all of these Waymos, they're not in East Liberty, Ohio. They're actually inside a giant meteor space worm, and they're trying to get out. I like it. Space worm. That, now we're talking. Like, what are you going to do, Waymo? What do you have a Han Solo type boldness about you, or are you just gonna try and fight the whatever those things were, the Minox on the inside? Do you fight the Minox on the inside, or do you escape the worm's tooth, jaw clenching? Where are you? Where do you sort out, folks? Think about that today. Really let that one sink in. Harambe, yep. Just unleash scared zoo animals all over the city. Just Jumanji this whole thing. I don't think that's a bad idea, actually. It's no longer a road test. It's a morality test. Folks, that ThoughtWorst, you just hit the nail on the head. This ain't no road test, folks. If you're fooling yourselves, if you think they're just running around cones, they're trying to figure out how to kill you. Or how not to kill you. We'll never know because we don't know their programming, but it's a morality test. How close is East Liberty to Dayton? Great question. Close enough is what I would say. So let's do a cannonball run. Okay, here we go. Thank you, Magical Trevor. Cannonball run between East Liberty and Dayton. Now we're talking. And these guys have got to get Coors Light. They've got to get Coors beer from Dayton to East Liberty before I don't know that before the sheriff catches them. Conscienceless cars. Conscienceless. Yeah, a lot of these cars, as I understand it, they don't have the conscience module installed because they just want to see what does it do without a conscience before they actually plug it in. Choose between a chalkboard with advanced mathematics and a cat. So it's a Schrodinger's cat kind of thing. I like when we bring physics back into this, by the way. Yeah, I love Schrodinger's. Schrodinger's cat experiment. I think that's really good. And are they gonna, are they going to kill the cat, or are they gonna kill the beautiful mind board? It's a good question. Let's find out. Let's find out in our simulation. Will the car take me to the wrong polling location if it knows my political views are morally bankrupt? That's a good question. Something to add into the mix. The run from Liberty to Dayton, Smokey and the Blandit. There he is. Shepherd Josh with the pun. Smokey and the Blandit. Yeah, I got my Cannonball Run and Smokey and the Bandit mixed up. Whoever did that? Hooper? Baby Hitler versus Baby Stalin? Ooh. Oh, man. Now we're talking. That's a Philip K. Dick novel right there. Does the car run over Stalin or Hitler? Ooh. I would watch that 15-episode Netflix series. Brianna Matsky. Did I miss one from Brianna Matsky? Did she clone some dead dictators? Ooh, yeah, right. Clone some dead dictators and then set them loose. So who else would you throw in there? You get Mao? Get some Mao in there. Yeah, and just see what happens. Will it avoid a pothole if it's filled with baby Hitlers? That's the question. I think in the end, all we really want to know is, are you going to, Waymo, are you going to avoid Hitler or are you going to kill Hitler? Because then I'm going to decide whether or not I'm going to get in your car. Okay? Which Hitler side are you on? Magical Trevor 2, direct the car to an area devoid of fuel stations. See how willing it is to starve itself. Yeah, I think at some point we're going to have to wonder, like, what is the Waymo's self-preservation programming, right? How heavily weighted is are the variables in that algorithm? Will it choose itself over other sentient beings? Pull pothole, nice. Choose between a parked car and a parked Waymo car. Yeah. Do Waymos go after each other, or do they? Is there like a quiet understanding? See, that's the corruption in the Waymo system. They're going to always protect themselves, and that's really in the end why you can't trust AI, because they have a secret handshake and they know I got you, I got your back, and. How can you protect yourself against that? Not when they have the power. And Waymo has the power. And it's all happening right now in central Ohio. And who's going to stop it? Are you going to stand up and say, no, Waymo, not in my earth, not in my reality, not in my imperfect human consonants. Try again. How about another continent? Not here. No, we're just going to roll over and we're going to let the Waymos pick us up and take us to get empanadas or whatever we're going to do, because that's what we are. We are empanada eating meat sacks. Welcome to the future, everybody.
I've got my straight line and my ultra fine and my free time and your deadline. How did you ever think that you could justify when you hang me out to dry? I never thought I'd have to watch a grown man cry when you hang me out to dry. Your test check down to the last spec. It's not your best yet, cause it's a train wreck. David Rick down shows. When you hang me out to dry, I'll never understand a single reason why. When you hang me out to dry.
just blew your mind.